my name's Leanne and I am from Suffolk, and this is my third Malle Mile. I've got a Suzuki EN125, which used to have lots and lots of plastic bearings. It was a bright red kind of beast of a machine. And we bought it in the lockdown in 2020 because we saw the Malle Mile and thought, oh, I want to have a go at that, because we went to Dirtquake a couple of years before and decided we want to have a go. So we bought this bike for 600 quid, ripped all the plastic off, repainted the tank. It's the second tank of paint job that it's had. I sort of do that every year as an annual thing, an event. And we bring it to the mile and just rag it round, basically. So I'm a teacher and an artist. I teach art and design and textiles in a high school. I love making things. I do a lot of painting, as you can see on the bike, I do a lot of drawing, that kind of thing, and a lot of motorcycle artwork, because why not combine the things that you love together? So I bought my first bike when I was 19. I bought a scooter. I had no other way of getting around, couldn't afford a car, so I thought, sod it, I'm just going to get a moped. Rode that for about 6 months at 30 miles an hour and decided that it was way too slow for the winter, and I was not doing that for very long. So I bought a 125 and had that for 4 or 5 years, still didn't have a car licence at this point. And then I kind of lost touch with biking for a little while I was doing my teacher training, because it just kind of took over my whole life. And then a couple of years ago I decided to do my full bike licence. So I actually ride most of the time a CB 400 SS, which is a beautiful Japanese import Honda motorcycle. It looks vintage, but it actually works, so it's the dream. And yeah, so I've been riding since, 11 years, since I was 19. So it's something that I'm not necessarily the best at, I'm not necessarily the most confident at, but I push myself to do it. I love it, it's fun, it's freeing, even though it causes me like absolute anxiety some days. If you drop it, fall off. I've fallen off 4 or 5 times, but just pick it up and get back on. So yeah.
Charlie Chagan. I'm from Colchester in Essex, and I like motorcycles. You joined me today at the Malle Mile, which isn't my usual. I'm usually on dirtier motorcycles in more secluded areas, less people, less motorcycles. But I've been dragged along here to just show people how to have loads of fun, really. This is a friend of mine's motorcycle. I actually ride a really scary looking Harley Davidson. This one is a far less oily and far more, I don't know, it's a nice machine and you can just chill out. It's less to hold on to. It's a Majesty 320, which is like a TY 250 but tricked up back in the day, aftermarket, trials kind of thing. It's nice, it's mint really. Just been bouncing around all afternoon. What do? I say I'm a freelance / unemployed / fun employed machinist, fabricator, jeweler, photographer, painter. I do anything really. My background's in machining and welding. I used to work for a historic race team running old like Group C Le Mans cars and stuff. That was rad, did that for like 2 or 3 years. Before that I was a heavy engineering place, doing a lot of machining big mechanical things on pre-war machines. That's what I do generally, but also fairly artistic, I guess. So then that kind of spills over everything I've learned really. It's like the challenge of like picking up something new and trying to nail it. Like same with the jewellery stuff. That's how I go into that. I was just like, fuck, really want to be able to silver solder better than I can right now. So I just spent 6 months trying to do it on a smaller scale, and then mint. Just take a tumble. And then I'd say my family's been pretty heavily motorcycle orientated. My dad just travelled around like all of Europe and stuff on bikes back in the 80s and 90s and stuff, and just remember being a child, flicking through photo albums, just seeing all the rad shit just parked up on mountains and just exploring the world. Also in a time before phones and stuff where you just like, yeah, we'll all meet at Dover at 12 and then we'll head from there and you all just actually turn up and your bikes work. So it kind of just inspired by that, and then had motorbikes since I was probably about 6 or 7. We rebuilt my mum's CG, what she learned to ride on. Had that as a field bike for years, turned that into my first bike. And yeah, just motocross bikes and anything with 2 wheels really. Anything mechanical, engines. I just haven't really found anything better than a motorcycle for, that's just the peak, like compact, especially for traveling. Like you can pack all your stuff, all your sleeping gear and some food and stuff on your motorbike, and you don't have to worry about anyone else. Like other people's bikes breaking down, doesn't matter. You can just go where you want to leave, you can fuck off, like it just works out. They're the perfect mode of transport, and then even for not transport and not adventure, just, I don't know. Two wheels push bikes wise is also quite a lot of fun, but 2 wheels with a fucking engine is just cracking, isn't it?
My name is Jack Finn. I'm a semi-professional idiot, and I'm at the Malle Mile on this Yamaha V50 that I bought last week because I can't use a clutch because again, idiot. What else I do? It's mainly this, really. I like riding bikes. I started 2019, I got a 125, had it for a few months and moved on to bigger stuff. I started off with green laning, a lot of off-roady bits and pieces, nothing serious, but a lot of easy stuff. And yeah, I just absolutely fell in love with it quite quickly. Work-wise, I don't do much at the moment at all. I worked as a light fitter for Brian James Trailers for 4 days before breaking my wrist. And before that, I was a quantity surveyor. Not much else, really. So, apart from this Yamaha, I've got an F650 BMW. The front end of that's all off of a Yamaha WR or YZ from the 99 to 2003, so it's 7 inches higher than standard. I've also got a Yamaha TRX 850 and a 1986 Honda Magna VF700C, which is V4 muscle cruiser in bits in the garden. Pretty much all I've done this weekend is they do the scramble, which is 10 kilometers on a little loop around. So I've done that 4 times, and then I've done the sprint, so the 8th mile uphill grass race. Managed a stonking 20 odd mile an hour, beat someone. I did win 1 race, yeah, believe it or not. They were on a 1969 50cc Gorelli. Because they don't have a clutch, they make you put your hand on your helmet, your clutch hand, so you have to be in neutral, kick it down and go. This don't have a clutch, so basically what this is a Yamaha version of a Honda Cub, but instead of being 4-stroke, it's 2-stroke. The big bore upgrade for this is a Yamaha Pee-wee 80 motor. That's the tuning options you have. It does about 40 on the flat. I had it to 49 on my way back from hospital after having my cast cut off. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, and it's fun, really. It's nice because it's so light. You can take absolute liberties with it. Like, yeah, you pull the front wheel in second gear because you can bounce it up off the ground. Like, it's a good laugh. It's a good laugh, and it fits in quite well here because it's all hipsters and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's a 1976. So tax, MOT, ULEZ, none of that. Even though, yeah, it's a 2-stroke, so it smokes and stinks and fouls plugs, fills the carburettor with shite, the tank's full of rust, inline filters don't really seem to be doing much at the moment. It will run nicely flat out, but it won't do much else. And yeah, Rode it 60 miles here, we'll be riding it 60 miles home. It'll probably take me about 3 hours. Broke down twice on the way here. Once at the main gate on the driveway coming in, I had to pull the carb apart and blow the jet sacks, they were clogged up. Doesn't idle. It does, but it clogs the jets when it idles. So yeah, that's it really. It's a proper heap of shit, and I think I'm in love with it.
The things I've done for you. If you were a squid, you would be dispersing ink from your rectum. Singers, when you lie in bed, in your tent or... Let's see how they do. Make yourself known. I feel like it's unlikely. Try spirit. Okay, we've got the Royal Enfield flat tracker against a custom Harley Davidson thing. Who's got it?
Hi, I am Carrie the Adventurer. I am a rally inspiring influencer for women, for riding big bikes and trying to get women into motorbiking. I got given this is a it's a Triumph 900 Scrambler, 2013. It is air-cooled, it's a limited edition, and actually hand-built in Hinckley. And it's very close to me. It's my dad's old bike, and sadly he has stopped riding, so he has donated it to me. I've been riding for 25 years now. I've been riding since I was 4. My dad, who has got me into motocross, and I used to race for European motocross trials when I was young for the under 13s. And then when I sadly had to go to college and high school, so I ended up taking motorbikening out of the equation. Until I turned 20, got my first job. My grandma gave me a little scooter and paid for my CBT, and that got me around. But I always wanted to have more, so I ended up getting a Yamaha MT125, and again wanted more. And so I ended up doing my research, and ended up with a KTM 1190 Adventure R that I ended up owning for 5 years now. We have done over 70,000 miles together, and we have raced rallies together. And in 2020, I ended up finishing Hispania Rally, and I finished in, I think I got 5th place in the 600 over class, and I think I got 3rd or 4th in the women's class as well. But I did it with a twist. I didn't just go with a rally team. I did a Malle Moto class. I ended up going on my own from Scotland down to Spain and then finished the race. It was 5 days, and then rode home. Almost got stuck because of the pandemic. So that's kind of my short story. And when I turned 25, I got my diagnosis of autism, and I have depression, and anxiety and ADHD, everything that should have stopped me from traveling. But it hasn't stopped me, it's given me more of a reason to travel, because why should I sit at home and feel depressed? I am more depressed by sitting and wasting my life away, feeling like what I already feel depressed, and I feel that everything's lost already, so why don't I just go and do it anyway? Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? I'm already depressed and I'm already feeling sad, and then I'm in a stressful situation when I'm doing nothing, when heck, just go and do it. So I find traveling for me is a big part of my life and organisation, and so that's about that. So yeah, that's why I'm at this event, because I'm on the way down to do my new trip, like I said, around Europe. That's just on the papers, I'm just going where the road ends. It might be 3 months, might be 6 months, it might be 5 years, I don't know. So yeah, we're doing it on the TT with this for 3 months, and then I'll probably go home, pick up my KTM when it's finished, getting his repairs, and then continue.
Let's start an RR against